for us, we've shot a lot more threes. A lot of people back it in, and with the zone in the last couple games. And so for us, we really wanted to attack, off those ball screens. And they played a lot of athletes, but we felt with our five, we could really set some ball screens and get into the paint. And I think they were concerned with our shooters, and they stayed spread, and we were able to get in there and and be able to get to the rim. And anytime you get to the rim, you're going to shoot a pretty high percentage.
Matt, there was a stretch there in the second half. Rob finally got it going again late, but there was a kind of a dead spot offensively for him. And at that point, it seemed like Tyrone and Anthony, I think they hit 3 key buckets in a row to take it from 55-50 to 61-50. If you would just talk about, how, from an offensive standpoint, significant they were again tonight for us.
Yeah, Tyrone and Anthony have been great for us, and you can see Tyrone starting to move a little bit better out there and look more fluid. But both of them were able to get to the rim and make plays, and just give us a spark off the bench. That's what we need them to do: make good decisions, be aggressive. When it's not there, move it. But when it's there, they can get an angle. Just try to create for themselves.
Coach, can you just talk about the game plan right off the bat? Signing into 2 feeds right off the bat down low. Is that you trying to establish the inside and try to get in that attacking mode?
Well, they've been starting, Kaji, the big kid, and even though he didn't play a lot against Ole Miss, he only played about 10, 12 minutes. They went small, and we wanted to attack off those ball screens, to be honest with you, and we just said if it's not there for Sonny, just to stay low and try to give him the basketball. I mean, if he could caught the ball a couple more times, he'd have 2 more baskets down low. But anytime someone goes small and they try to play more athletes, it makes sense to try to get the ball inside as much as possible.
Coach, we had Juwan Johnson come back today for the dedication and everything. What's it like, sending someone like that out from the program and having them come back? What does that do for your players now?
Well, I think it's great. It's a great story. He's a guy who's worked really hard to be in the position that he is. I know he's excited about getting an opportunity to play in the NBA. But he just was a guy that, brought it every single day. He's a lunch pail type guy, and worked on his game, came early, stayed late. He has some God-given ability, but from a skill standpoint, he put a lot of time into shooting the basketball and working on his game, being very coachable. And a lot of people don't realize he can bench, 330 pounds. It doesn't look that way, but he's pretty strong, and comes from a lot of time in the weight room. But it's just special to see somebody develop like that as a player and a person, and achieve some of their dreams. And now really, his career's just starting. So that's what's exciting about him. I think he can get a lot better.
Coach, in the first half, you had, I think, 4 out of 5 possessions where you scored out of the timeout. Just how important is that for your team, getting momentum and slowing down runs from Miami?
Right. Well, I think it was difficult to guard Miami, just because they have so many athletes and so much quickness, and they spread you out. You're just trying to adjust as the game goes on, and if you see something, just try to take advantage of it, or talk your guys through it, whether it's changing something defensively or offensively, trying to run something that you think you can get a good shot. Sometimes you get good shots, they don't necessarily go in all the time, but you try your best to help them.
I feel like I've asked this question at the last 2 games, so I probably have, about kind of the light coming on for Tyrone now.
Right.
How much of that has been confidence? Obviously, when you were limited physically, that's something that might kind of take a hit. Is he kind of where he needs to be, both from a physical standpoint and now from a
Well, I think he's
confidence?
better physically. I still think, he's not in a great place. I think he's improving. I think for him, when he comes in and he makes a couple good plays, it really helps him, and that builds that confidence to continue. It is difficult, and I mentioned it before the games, trying to get those guys in a rhythm in terms of scoring the basketball. When you're a guy that can score, you want to make sure those guys stay in a rhythm, but it's also difficult when you got a guy like Kelsey Barlow out there that just gives you so much. Today wasn't his day in terms of scoring the ball, but he gives you so much defensively, getting steals, doing little things. And then obviously Lewis is out there, running the team. And then Ryan Smith's been great for us offensively, knocking down shots. So it's hard to get a balance with Tyrone and with Anthony, and then obviously DJ Bird, and get all those guys the minutes they deserve.